Have you ever had an amazing conversation and all you could think was, wow, I wish somebody else could have been here? You actually knew the people that you wish could have been in the room, could have been a fly on the wall just to hear the conversation. Have you ever watched something happen and unfold right in front of you? Just people sitting around a dinner table, and you thought, this is something that people really need to hear. People of all ages, all walks of life, or a certain group of people really need to hear. Have you ever sat and thought, man, I have this amazing idea to put information in one place for people in this certain area to be able to go and get to and pull from and learn from and grow and glean and get through some obstacles really, really quickly because of the experience that other people have had, and they would be able to grow exponentially just because of being able to hear that conversation. Well, I'm Marion, and I am a podcast pro. Listen, pro, P, purposefully do all that you do. Guess what? You never know who's watching, who's listening, who's growing, who's gleaning from what you're saying and doing. Are resilient enough to turn what most people call obstacles into opportunities to push yourself and grow and be the amazing you that you are. Oh, outstanding. Stand out as your, listen, life living golden self. This is I Am a Podcast Pro, and in this episode, what we want to do, what we're here to do, is to cultivate the person behind the mic. That's our mission. That's our mission on I Am a Podcast Pro. And tonight, we're going to do just that. We want to help anyone that feels as though, listen, there's some amazing things that I know that I feel aren't being talked about enough. They aren't being spoken on enough. But then you have this thing that's kind of just holding you back, something that's stopping you from moving forward and sharing that vital information that you have. Those amazing conversations that you have with other people, being able to get in front of a camera, on a mic, and share that information with others. Listen, I would say fearlessly, but I want to change that to courageously. Because at times speaking can be very complicated for some. Complicated in a way that speaking is something that you do every day. For most of us, I would say speaking is the way that we communicate. Of course, in my mind, I always think of that rare community of people that don't have the opportunity of verbalizing with word what they say. Some people use sign language. Some people have to type out what they say. Some people use gestures. But what I'm saying is coming before people and communicating, articulating the thoughts and experiences that you've had in your life to be able to impact someone else's life. It takes courage to do that if you feel the hindrance of fear. But I want you to take that fear and turn it into fuel to actually motivate you, to inspire you, to inflame what's in you so big that you have the desire, the burning desire to make sure you get that information out. Listen, and I believe that most people, I would say everyone, has something that they need to get out, a message that they need to get out, a life experience that they need to share. And I believe that this has no age limit. You can't tell me that a child that goes through a traumatic or a detrimental health challenge doesn't have a story to tell after that. Because a health challenge doesn't have an age on it. You can't tell me that an older person that has gone through, living through different decades of life's history doesn't have a story to tell. So that's what I mean by it doesn't have an age on it. There are no hindrances or blocks to what each person's life experience could bring to someone else. If you've survived domestic violence, if you are a financial guru, if you know how to invest like none other, there are things that each of us are gifted in or experienced in that has brought us wisdom to be able to bring it to the table and share with someone else, whether that be through a podcast platform and you're the host, or you're the guest that's coming to expound and speak on that gifting that you have grown through your life's experience. Listen, the first area that I want to talk about to not have that pause pushed in you that holds you back from sharing, that first thing you have to do, you have to choose. You're going to have to choose to be courageous. See, because fear stops you. Courage is putting action to it even though you're afraid. So to be courageous, you have to choose to be courageous. To choose to be courageous is very uncomfortable. Did I say that? Yes. It's very uncomfortable. It's not easy. And again, it's a choice. If you want to make a difference, if you want to be impactful, you're going to have to choose to not do the easy thing. For me, what did I choose that wasn't easy for me? Well, if you go to my social media page at Marion Swingler, you'll see that it's pretty recent that I started on social media. Extremely uncomfortable for me because when social media started, I said, I'm not doing that. But as I started to come before people, and it was more of a business decision in terms of to do business and communicate with people more effectively, I have to go to where the people are. And in this day and age, social media. Someone actually had to sit down and speak with me. Like I had to go to someone so that they could sit down and speak with me. The first people I spoke with, my children. Why? Because I had forbade them from being on social media. Found out, yeah, Ma, we already on social. What? You? Okay, let's see what it is. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cute. That's amazing. But respecting the fact that you shouldn't share everything, there should be a focal point. So for me to start my personal page as a businesswoman conducting business in a manner of helping people, I had to make that choice. It was uncomfortable. At times, it's still uncomfortable at times, but I understand the necessity in it. I understand that that's where now the community is built. It's a different day. It's a different time. So I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And now, honestly, it's not so uncomfortable anymore because I had the courage of just posting that first post. My first post is me writing on a piece of paper with tears flowing down my face, and a tear hit the paper. And the person sitting next to me said, Marion, that's your first post. You got to post it. I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so that's how social media started for me. Had to be courageous. So most people would say, well, that's not courageous. You can't measure what's courageous for me. And I can't measure what's courageous for you. So don't allow yourself or anyone around you to put a measure on it that doesn't equate to your understanding of the magnitude, depths of what you're doing and what it means to you and how it impacts you. So you want to be strategic in your courageous, uncomfortable moves, because these things transform many things in your life and the lives of the people that you are here to help. That's right. We're all here to help others. So it's very important that we are specific about how we're being courageous, because it transformed the courageous. You want to seek out, I'm trying to get my words right. Listen, you want to seek out the challenges in conversations. Moving back to podcasting, you want to seek out those challenging conversations. You want to make sure that the conversations that you're having and choosing to have, that they grow you and your community, that they cause a growth physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, relationally, and this all starts in one spot: mentally. And how you grow mentally is through that communication. It transformed those challenging conversations transform your thinking. Your thinking transforms your doing, and your doing transforms your living. All of that transforms your lives and the lives around you. Being a podcaster and coming on a podcast means that you're not just speaking on the transformation in your life, but you're influencing the transformation in others' lives. So you want to make sure that you're doing it very purposefully, that you're aware of the impact that your words and actions can make. Again, you never know who's watching and listening. Be very mindful. 2, surround yourself with people and things that fuel the belief in your greater self. It has to fuel the belief in your greater self. So that means the things that you speak on, the things that you watch, the things that you listen to, the things that you conversate about, the people that you have surrounding you. They all need to feed that purpose. Don't get me wrong. There are times when you need to let things down and just relax. If an example, Jesus started his walk at the age of 33. Do you know it started with a party, a wedding party that he went to with his mom? It started with a party. So that's evident. Sometimes it's just time to relax. Most times, if you want to change in your life, if you want a difference, if you want to make an impact in others' lives, most times You're going to have to be purposeful with the things that you're consuming and the people that are feeding you around you, feeding you through words, feeding you through affirmations, feeding you through advice, feeding you through where they're taking you, the things that they're doing. So you want to make sure that you're raising the bar on where you are right now. If in your life you feel like, wow, I really do want to be a podcaster. Do you want to be a podcaster in your present condition, or do you want to be a podcaster that's ever growing, learning, and getting better, so that the people around you, the people that are under the sound of your voice or under the words that you write, that you script, that they're growing and getting better and better as you're growing and getting better and better? There's a choice to be made. You have to be courageous. You have to surround yourself with better things and better people that can have an eagle eye over you and tell you, hey, listen, I see the way you're going, but that might not be the proper way. Think about it. When this happened, last time this happened, and this is what you did, and this is what you got out of it. Do you really want to go that way? You want to surround yourself with people who will do that with you. Have those hard conversations to make you stand in the mirror and make better choices for yourself. In turn, making better choices for the people around you. By people around you, I do mean your family from generation to generation. I do mean the community that you bring together through your platform or through the platform you speak from as a guest or host. Really important, very important. And thirdly, what I want to address is, this one is third. Could have been one, but I put it last. Just because that's how it just fell in as I crafted this message for us to be able to unpack and grow from. So the third one is, you have to believe in yourself and the value that you bring. That's how fear can hold you back. Fear can hold you back from believing in yourself and the value that you bring. To show you how to identify the belief in yourself. God has done it through you before. So you actually can walk someone else through that thing. God has done trademarking through you before. So now you have the experience and wisdom, life lived experience, to be able to go to someone and say, hey, this is what you need to do first. This is what you need to do second. This is what you need to do third and fourth. But before you do those four, you want to sit down and do this. If you're able to go to someone and give them the before you even do, how you map out what you want to do or need to do, then you're an expert at that thing. Now, because that thing comes easy to you, you might go, that doesn't have any value. Nobody, who doesn't? If I know it, then everybody knows it. If I figured it out, then everybody's figured it out. Well, guess what? We've all figured out the things that we are capable or focused on figuring out. Not capable, focused on figuring out. So we've all figured out the things that we have put our focus on and literally unpacked time and time again till we are wise, we have a wisdom about it, we have an understanding about it, and it's knowledge that we can share and walk somebody else through. It's not all the same thing. We don't all have the same things that we're doing. We could all be money people sitting in a room at a table. Do you know that everyone will have a different perspective on how they got to the money, grew the money, multiplied the money? Everyone will have a different perspective. Someone may be doing real estate. Someone may be doing storefronts, businesses. There are just so many ways you can get to that goal, whatever that goal is, that you can't keep thinking, because I know I did. So we can't keep thinking, there's somebody else that's better at this. There's somebody else that can help people that can articulate it better. There's somebody else that's better equipped, more experienced, and more trustworthy. Those are usually the things, the areas that we fear and doubt within ourselves. If you know something that you didn't know yesterday, then you're one step ahead of yourself yesterday. Imagine how many other people you're ahead of that one step, that would love to know the one step that you know so that they could catch up to where you were, because you should be grooming yourself to get to the next step. To make a difference in your life, in the generations in your family, to make a difference, the difference that you were sent here to make in the world, you have to be courageous. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable by surrounding yourself with people and things that feed into the greatness of you. And you definitely have to believe and see your value. There's only one you. And I know you may even say, as I said so many times, I can't articulate it. I'm not sure if people are going to understand what I'm saying. There are a tribe of people that are waiting for you to speak on the frequency that you have, waiting for you to communicate the way that you do, because that's the way that they understand. Just to do a quick survey, I want you to I want you to choose one of these 3 sayings about fear. Decide where you are now and decide where you want to be. Really look at where you're taking things easy, where you're spending a lot of time watching just junk TV or regular TV or entertainment, instead of watching something that could educate you in your field of interest, that could grow you in communication so you can effectively articulate your field of interest. Then you want to start to look at the people around you to make sure they're not feeding the fear in you, but they're actually helping you grow into the great person that you are. And then you really want to check yourself, because we can be our own worst enemies. Our biggest enemy can be the inner me. You want to check that person. Listen to what you're saying to yourself. Pay attention to what's running across your mind. Pay attention to the visions, how you imagine things playing out for you. Decide that they're going to work out for your good. Vision and see that in your mind. Write out how you can do that. When the phone rings, stop expecting the worst. Always expect my guest is going to be amazing. They're going to show up and they're going to wow me. I'm going to bring them here for this topic, but it's going to be an even greater, more amazing conversation than I'm expecting. You have to expect good at all times. So here's the homework. The 3 things: decide where you are, decide where you want to be, and then make that plan to get there. Okay, so fear. Fear has been said to be false evidence appearing real. Do you feel like that's how you're living your life right now? Fearfully. Where everything is false and negative, and it appears real in your mind and in the thoughts that you have, the feelings that you have, and then that's what appears in your life. Just something to think about. Or is fear for you, forget everything and run? Forget everything and run. This kind of speaks to a fearfulness that you're just more introspective and reflective. And it's a response of fear to everything, where you just drop it and run because you're afraid of what could be. But you always think in doom and gloom. And the third option to choose from is face everything and rise. You know how when a bill comes in the mail, that first one comes, hey, this your due date. This is how much you owe us. Okay. That next one. This your due date. This is how much you owe us. And this date is now past due. But you still owe that same amount. The next letter comes, yeah, that date is really past due. Now you owe us this much, which is more. And it keeps growing. So because you didn't address it, doesn't mean it stopped living. It stopped growing. It stopped having its being. It just means that you didn't address it. So I hope you would choose face everything and rise. See what the benefit in it is. Be resilient. Be strategic. Figure out, listen, I got to get this done. So let me call these bill collectors. Let me see how I can negotiate maybe a later date, because this is when I can pay them. This is how you face fear. I know I'm using a bill, but this is how you face fear. So in podcasting, you're afraid to turn on the camera. You're afraid to turn on the mic. You're afraid to take that pen to paper or those fingers to keys and put your words, your ideas, your thoughts, your life experiences, your wisdom out there in the world for the community that's waiting for you to help them, to show them the way, to even entertain them. Whatever that is, you want to be purposeful and make sure that you're rising to the occasions. There will be times where there will be challenges. There will be obstacles. But if you choose to just look at it and know that, this is not going to kill me, so let me figure this out, then it should make it much easier. I'm just calling on you to be braver, be bolder, be beautiful inside and out. Don't wait. Act now. As I've heard it says, time waits for no man. But as I say, man, don't wait on time because it never stops ticking. Let's get it. All right. Here we are, living our life like it's golden. That's what we're going to choose to do. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on social media, all social media platforms at I Am a Podcast Pro. Make sure you say it and own it. I am a podcast pro. You got this. So until next time, let's get it.